Welcome to the Art of Hitting Club. Today we have a little piece from club activity. We have Frank, who's one of the most developed players that we've had over the last year. When I say most developed, he started at just a standard, really routine level. Hadn't played softball since in the Little League, and now he's like 70 years old. He came out, and we started working with him. He's just a hard worker and worked really hard. And, he's really hitting the ball well. He came out the other day and talked about this open stance, and he found the key to the kingdom, or however he phrased it. But I said, man, open stance like that, you got to come back and reset and get your footing, get the athletic base. And, we discussed and we argued a little bit. I brought my right-hand man in, Gary Benton, who can explain to the Eskimos how they make ice cubes. So let's listen.
Right here and everything. I come through a contact, but I don't want to stop there. My torso needs to be turned as fast as I can. To contact, through contact. And so you're actually finishing up almost like where your torso is facing close to the shortstop third baseman. And if you're not facing that way, then you stop your torso way too.
And that's why you rotate on your heel toe, or
right,
toe
so,
heel.
Let me ask you this. All right, so say a regular stance, I'd be like here, right?
Okay.
So if it's inside, I reach out, I get it out here, pull it, right? If it's in the middle, I reach out. And then if it's outside, I'm going like this.
But remember, your foot leads. Your front foot leads.
Right. My problem is when I go like this, I usually pop it up or down, right? I feel like I'm off balance.
Where are you trying to make contact with that ball going backside? Are you trying to make contact?
Well, no, yeah, it should be back here. It should be. I think I'm trying to get it here.
Let it travel more.
Right.
That way, because the thing is now it's like I got to step and I got to go out.
Right. It shouldn't be. It should be waiting until it comes back.
The best way is for an outside.
I'm going out like this.
Go to right field.
And I'm off.
To go to right field, the best way is let it drop lower.
And I think I'm reaching out for it. Yeah. I'm reaching out for all of them, I think.
Keep your hands back. The last thing.
Right. So I thought, and this was my reasoning, I thought if I open like this, I'm here like this, right? So now if it's inside, I pull it here.
But look.
Wait. This is my thinking. All right, tell me if I'm all right. So I'm like this, all right? So if I'm like this.
Dominoes!
All right, so if it's outside, all right, now I'm already, because I can cover the plate, this way, all right? So if it's outside, I'm just going to go straight with it up the middle. And then, so I'm not.
Stop right now. Let me speak.
That was
Do that, right? All right, okay. Look at it. Get in your stance. You want to have your hips open to the pitcher, and you want your hips to spin, because that's where you're getting the power, right, Gary? You can see he's already open. So how do you get maximum hip torque?
Right, so when he pitches it,
now you're going to have to do that, but then you got to get that leg moving forward and then spin again. But you're not doing that.
Loading your upper half, you're not lower.
There you go.
Think of a rubber band and everything. I want those muscles tight, like I'm pulling a rubber band at the lower half. And the way you're going to do that is like I'll sit there, I'll take that hip, and from right here I'll take that hip, and I'm pushing that, sitting down in that hip, and this knee is almost pushing against it, right? So now it's like I've got my lower half loaded.
Okay.
And now I want to load my upper half. I'll pull, and I want to get that oblique tight. And now it's like I've got my upper half loaded, my lower half loaded. So now as soon as I go, it's the rubber band releases, and then it just torques through.
They want to get on with hitting practice, so we're going to let them go. You got to work on that, man. There's a lot of videos out there on my channel on that.
All right, so I'm going to try the square.
This issue is pretty common among softball players, so I thought we'd go a little deeper and get some information from the go-to guys I use at this channel, Ryan Harvey and Greg the Hitman Helmer and Bob Woldyk. I use several other guys too, but these guys had some videos that I want to share with you.
A lot of people have open stance. It's very good for hand-eye coordination, get both eyes on the ball, allow us to get momentum in our load and going into the ball. But a lot of times we get caught up in not getting back to a neutral position with our front side. So what happens, we stay open, we go to swing, our front shoulder's already going, our hips are already turned, and we end up hitting the ball down the end of the bat not getting as much velocity and distance as we should, not maximizing our potential with our swing. What we need to do is we need to get back to that neutral or even closed position, and then we can transfer all of that turn and all of the swing path and everything into the ball, as opposed to flying off this way. If you're hitting the ball at the end of the bat, if you're not driving it like you should, one of the reasons why that happens is we're not getting back to a neutral position with our front side. Down to the ball, my barrel stays up, we're into the zone, and then we're flat through the zone and back up. Here to the zone, flat, and then flick through the ball, generate and transfer all of that turn and all of the swing path and everything into the ball, as opposed to flying off this way. If you're hitting the ball at the end of the bat, if you're not driving it like you should, one of the reasons why that happens is we're not getting back to a neutral.
That hip leads you, and the best thing, for me, I like to be a little bit open. I like to be able to, two eyes on that pitcher. I'm opened up, so I've already got this hip going. I've got this back leg locked in. I'm right here. Now I've gone, snap forward, and I've already just done it. My hips have just started to commit. Here's the turn. Hands now are here, and then comes that hard push, and then the follow through would just be up, a little drag, and you're off to the races, man.
Arm extension. Arm extension is one of the ones that are going to make you or break you. You've got to do this properly. And when I talk about arm extension, I'm talking about you lead with the hands, you want to snap your wrist and your elbow at the same time. Arm extension here. You actually hit the ball about a foot and a half in front of the plate. The swing is actually the momentum going forward, not around. Your hips rotate, but your swing goes straight out, back towards the pitcher. You don't want to rotate this way with your swing and get arm extension here and rotate with your hips. You want your hips to rotate, keeping your hands back, leading with your hands, snapping it out here. You want your bat forward. Now, you can do the same thing even if you're hitting to the opposite field. You want to get arm extension. In other words, if you're hitting to the outside of the field, you turn a little bit and you snap it that way. You still get total arm extension. Get your arms out. The further out you get it, the better off you are. In this picture, notice that my arms are coming out and I'm going to snap my elbows and my wrist at the same time, getting full arm extension out and away. Notice when you make contact, you want to extend your full elbows so that you get great arm extension right there. Driving the ball through, forward. Get full arm extension, drive through the ball. Lead with the hands, arm extension. That'll get you bat speed.
You just heard four players describe the same principle the different ways, but you got the gist of what they're talking about, and they all were saying the same thing. That's kind of what softball's all about. People explain things a little bit differently. Then people that take that information, they do their own thing with it based on their personal qualities, their strength, what the God-given talents they have. Let's look at some of those people right now. This is my son Scott that follows the standard principles, watches footwork, stride, step, hands back, explode, stride, and bang. Now let's look at the next guy, who is Big Chucky, and watch his. Well, this is Mike. Excuse me. This is Mike. Big Mike from Alaska. He has an open stance. He doesn't come back. He didn't open. He didn't come back. So he's losing a little bit. He lost a little bit on that. hit on top of it. But I just noticed that he had an open stance and didn't come back to reset. Chuck's pretty much standard, steps forward. Boom, unloads. Now the next guy, my man Stan. Stan, if you're going to watch his swing, you're going to say, man, that guy, man, he's not doing a lot right. And that's right. Stan doesn't do a lot. Look, he'll move his feet. He'll drop his bat. You can go through and look, and he stepped in the hole. But I'm telling you, the guy hits the ball for like 750, 800. And in tournaments and the level he plays, he's fine. So, folks, you don't have to be picture perfect, but you have to have a little bit of game that you hit it where they aren't. And if you figure out how to do it, you can just use one arm if you want. It doesn't matter. But you got to take the fundamental principles and use them, because you are losing something. Now, Stan is a strong guy. He's a diver. He's in best shape of, you know. Now, Dan, here's a young man, is 53 years old, works hard, strong as an ox. He does a lot of exercise activities for us. Exercises. And you'll be seeing some of them coming up. We got a few online already, but you know, he's got a nice swing, very aggressive. Watch this next one. Now he usually runs up on a ball, but he's not doing it, or glides up on the ball, whatever. Walks up on the ball. Now watch this. Step, hands back, hips are coming. Yeah, boom. Yeah, nice execution, really. So the next guy we got is Phil Farmer. He's in the Hall of Fame, 75 and over, one of the best left center fields in the country at 75 and over. Hits the ball really well, and this is his approach. He's got a real wide stride. Lets it come down, goes after it. And he's got his unique style geared to his ability, and he's very successful at it. This is Ed Rose. I know this guy. And for some reason, this low motion doesn't go all the way through. But my step, I got a close stance, and I step. I take a long stride, and I can run good. This is a tool that we use. The ball, the yellow ball, you're supposed to snap it out front. That's a tool that I use and several guys at the club use. Watch Phil here. The idea is to pop it out front, the ball. And that's the exercise. I do it every time before I get up the bat. It seems to help me. And then when it doesn't help me, because I make outs like everybody else. Please hit subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something.